We want to go back to that Navy SEAL team story. We are now joined by New York Times national correspondent Dave Phillips, one of the reporters who broke that story. Dave, thank you so much for your time tonight. Really appreciate it. You've covered the military for more than 15 years, and the details in this story are just wild. Doesn't even sound real. When you first learned of this story involving this Navy SEAL team mission, what did you think?
Honestly, I didn't believe that we would put American troops on North Korean soil because it was too risky. It just seemed like even if there was intelligence to be gained, the risk of a hostage situation or even escalating hostilities with someone who has nuclear weapons seemed like that juice was not worth the squeeze. But as we reported it out, we kept finding more and more details that showed that's exactly what they did, not only at any time, but during 2019, when the United States was right in the middle of really high-level nuclear talks that promised a breakthrough. That breakthrough in denuclearization, it never came. We don't know if this mission and its failure was part of that.
Such a risky mission. I mean, you said it so well. Now, the commandos, right? They expected an empty beach, and then according to your reporting, things just went south pretty quickly. Walk us through what your sources say happened next.
Yeah, this is all top secret, but what we've been able to piece together is that two mini subs, both of them about the size of a killer whale, came into a bay on the coast of North Korea and parked about 100 meters offshore. A small team of about 8 Navy SEALs went to the shore, but while they were on the beach, a small fishing boat, something maybe about 14, 15 feet long, came into the area. It was shining lights. It was coming towards the area where the mini subs were parked, and the SEALs on the shore had no idea if this boat had seen their mini subs, which of course were their only means of escape. Not knowing what to do, the senior SEAL at the beach fired on the boat, and all the other SEALs followed. And within seconds, everyone on that boat, which our sources said was 2 or 3 people, was dead. Now, the SEALs went to the boat to try and figure out who this was, and they found no uniforms or weapons suggesting it was security forces. All the evidence suggested that this was some locals out to try to catch something to eat.
And this mission took place in 2019. When you learned about it, could you believe that so much time had passed and there had been no reporting on this and that no one had ever mentioned this mission?
Yeah, and that's not unusual for these types of top secret missions. I mean, it can be decades before they're just declassified. But what was striking to us is that as we dug into it, we learned that not even the leaders in Congress's intelligence committees, people who are supposed to be briefed on nearly everything of this nature, not even they were told. And to us, that was really striking because essentially there was no oversight.
And even President Trump says he doesn't know anything about this. He said he's hearing about it for the first time. Do you stand by your reporting? Is that true, what he's saying?
That's really tricky. I mean, not only have we been in discussions with the White House for some time before this published, but Mr. Trump can say that. And because this is a classified top secret mission, nobody in the Pentagon or in his staff who knows otherwise can contradict him without breaking secrecy laws.
Right. Now, if this had been reported on publicly at the time or just even a couple of years later, what do you think would have happened?
You know, I really don't know. We thought that this was the right time to do it because we're far enough away from the immediate operation that we're not going to jeopardize anything. We withheld a lot of details because there are things that we wanted to protect, abilities that the American government had that we didn't want to disclose. But also, we thought it was really important for policymakers and the public to understand some of these breakdowns in both the operation and the oversight that are hidden by secrecy laws.
Yeah, we're taking a look at some video there when President Trump met with the North Korean leader there in 2019, which apparently took place after this mission. Now, when did you and your team of reporters start working on this particular story? How long did it take before reporting it out in the Times?
I don't want to say too much about the
Okay.
timing because this is really sensitive, but I do want to say something about what the North Koreans know or don't know. Now, it's probably understandable that if there are bodies floating in a boat in the bay, the local authorities in North Korea are going to find them and they're going to start figuring things out. The Americans using satellites noted a surge of military activity right after this mission happened in North Korea. So the North Korean authorities were scrambled. North Korea has never given any public indication that they know. And even if they did find these bodies, it isn't clear, at least until now, whether they knew, what had happened or who was responsible.
And now that this is out on stateside, have we heard from North Korea? Have you heard from North Korea at all about this particular
So
mission?
far, so far, we have not heard anything, which in a way is not surprising. They have a very tightly controlled state-run press.
Right, right. Incredible reporting, Dave. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing those details. New York Times correspondent Dave Phillips, thank you.
Thank you.